This is Grizzly Country Outdoors. This is Grizzly Country Outdoors. Grizzly Country Outdoors. This is Grizzly Country Outdoors.
This is one of our propane compressors that they're in the process of doing an overhaul. They had to fix the rod packings, the pressure packings. That's your
piston rod.
So where this rod, that rod comes through this packing, they had to take that out and put new packings in because it was allowing propane to leak past the pressure packing, and then propane comes into this distance piece here and then leaks out and vents the atmosphere. You lose propane off the compressor due to that.
Right above the pressure packing, in between where the distance piece is, there's a pipe that vents it out to atmosphere.
That's your discharge valve, suction valve. See where suction valve still has the twin here. Other valve.
The gas compressor is just one massive cylinder, and so what you're looking at there is the inside head of that. Your compressor rod slides through that hole that you're looking at, and your pressure packing then is on the back side, the other side of that.
The rod for your compressor slides through there and connects into your scavenging air piston back in there. You can just kind of see that wooden block back in there. It's just a spacer to protect that right now. Here we've got this piston's already been reinstalled. This one's already been reinstalled. This one still in the process of tightening it up, right? Not quite finished here.
This is the first stage suction piston and rod that you're looking at here. And of course, you know how this works. The day before this, all of the rods and pistons were standing on the floor waiting to be installed. And I thought, I'll videotape them tomorrow. And of course, naturally, those other three have already been installed. Just to give you an appreciation of the size of this equipment, this compressor piston is 12 inches deep, 18 inches across, and then the rod itself is 44 inches.
Long on the rod. There's where your that's your carrier for your suction valve. That guy there. Up in here. It's right up in there. Over there.
And valves, whether they're suction valves or discharge valves, it's just a series of rings. They're a synthetic material, spring-loaded. They only allow the gas to pass one direction through them, so they're essentially a check valve. Here you're looking at the port that the compressor suction valve sits in. The suction valve is held into like a kind of a cartridge by a set screw. So if you look in the bottom, you can just see the valve there right in the bottom of that cartridge, and that whole thing just drops into that port, held in place by set screws. were looking through this port here where your suction valve, it said the valve you see on the bottom is your discharge valve. That's what you're looking at down in there. Okay, we're going to go up on top and walk right along the top of where your distance pieces are. Here's an access port into where you see one of the rods. And down in there you're going to see a compressor rod packing. This is what they were actually, this is the overhaul. The purpose of this overhaul was to repair all these. You see the blue mark on there, the mechanic has marked that, he knows he's got that one finished. That's the inside of a valve cap, the suction valve. Here's another one, the rod's in, piston's in. They've got the pressure packing done, that's on the one side, and that other part you're looking at is part of your inside head for your port, where your scavenging air piston is. We'll look at those a little bit more here in a minute. Walk along and take a look. This rod is extended out, this one is extended all the way. You can see the piston there. Whereas this one, you just see the rod because the piston is extended out. Here's on the valve cap. And here we got pressure packing in. It's been installed. Still have to do that inside head for your distance piece. That rod is also extended out. Here we're at the one where the piston and rod are still on the floor. All of this still has to be done. You can see those carrier bolts right there. Those are the bolts that your pressure packing are held by. Look down inside, you see the hole where the rod comes through. Your pressure packing is going to slide right onto those 4 bolts. Okay, you see these C-shaped things, there's 2 pieces. Those 2 go together to form the inside head of the chamber for your scavenging air piston for your distance piece. Another one here, you see the two halves there. Pretty good look at them right here. These 2 C-shaped things, they fit together and they seal that inside head for your scavenging air piston, your distance piece. What you're looking at here is the outside head end cap for the different compressors. There's 3 of them here. And on one of the compressors already has one reinstalled, that one down at the far end. So there's 1, 2, 3, and then you can see the far one, that cap has actually already been reinstalled. These are valve assemblies with their corresponding valve cap. These would be suction because all the discharge valves are already installed.
notice how this area, the piston actually extends out right above the valve, right? And then on the end of this is sculpted here. This is sculpted here to align with where the valve is positioned. This is sealing the end of the cylinder, and then this sculpted part is allowing gas to come in to get into the valve, through the suction valve, and then into the discharge valve. On the inboard side, this is referred to the inboard side because it's close to the engine. You see that same sculpted area here on the damn it. The same sculpted piece here that lets the gas come into the piston there. C-shaped pieces, they'll go together and they form the inside seal for your distance piece where your scavenging air piston is. They form the seal here between over that shaft, and then the chamber that's inside here for your scavenging air piston. That's what these guys do. This one is partially assembled. We have the outer part of that. Now this inner seal has to be installed into there. Seal that. You can see how this inner head of the inboard head on the compressor, how it's sculpted itself to allow the gas to pressed by the piston. The gas is going to come down through here into your valve. And this sculpted area allows the piston to act on the gas that comes through this suction valve.
Well, that's going to kind of be a wrap on this video. Now we're just going to listen to the sweet sound of these old natural gas two-stroke Cooper-Bessemers. It's a beautiful sound. If you never heard it, just soak it in here. Right? It's a wonderful sound to my ear. I've been listening to these things, operating these things for 40 plus years, and I just love these old engines. Beautiful thing. That's what 1,000 horsepower sounds like, folks. These things are running 300 RPM. They run 24/7, 365. They have been since 1965. at this plant. Yeah, they need maintenance now and then, but it's astonishing how durable, how reliable these old engines are. Your car engine is not going to put anywhere near the miles on that these bad boys have. Not a chance. This engine you're listening to here is one of the residue gas compressors. Yeah, she's just a purring like a kid. I hope you were at least mildly entertained. That'll be it for this video.